A wide area for playing organized by the Teresian sisters. The school offers suitable academic programs for your children that prepare them to be good and honest citizens of the society. A school bus is available to pick the learners from all locations. The school is located in Lilongwe, taking Bunda Turn-off Road after the police roadblock, and there you see a signpost to your left. For more information, call the following numbers: 0999 798 338, 0996 251 144, or better come in person. St. Teresa Private Schools, the best schools for your child.
Glad you could join us for our 7:30 news bulletin. My name is Thandi Wemzumara, and of course we tuned into Luntha TV. Before we start our bulletin, first let's take a look at the headlines. Pope Francis returns to Vatican after first public appearance in weeks. Government in talks over 16.9 trillion Malawi kwacha debt settlement. Government calls for collaborative efforts towards eliminating tuberculosis and leprosy by 2030. And in other news, Angola to end East Congo conflict mediation role. We do have the details to these stories and more. Just stay with us. Pope Francis was released from Rome's Gemelli Hospital on Sunday after more than a month's stay at the facility amid a series of health scares. Before returning to the Casa Santa Marta after his discharge from the hospital, Pope Francis was taken to the Basilica Santa Maria Maggiore, where he delivered flowers to place before the icon of the Virgin Salus Populi Romani. He then finally returned to the Vatican according to the Holy See. Charity Shilanga is reading a Vatican News report.
Before departing the clinic, Pope Francis appeared on a fifth floor balcony, offering a brief greeting and blessing to a chanting crowd of the faithful gathered below. The window greeting marked his first public engagement in weeks after a 38-day hospitalization for bilateral pneumonia and other conditions. The text of his Angelus reflection was distributed in written form, as it has been in recent weeks. The 88-year-old pontiff reflected on the day's gospel reading about the barren fig tree, noting how his own hospital stay has allowed him to experience the patience of the road, reflected in the care of medical staff. Pope Francis also called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and expressed hope for the newly agreed peace accord between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Officials confirmed on Saturday the pontiff will continue convalescing at his Casa Santa Marta apartment for at least 2 months, requiring ongoing oxygen therapy during his recovery.
Tiankuleni Yambuye, a Catholic group in the Diocese of Lilongwe, has been encouraged to deepen their spiritual reflection and relationship with God during this Lenten season. This call was made at Maula Cathedral during a retreat held under the theme Why Am I Suffering?, inspired by Luke chapter 15 verses 11 to 32. According to Father Damasege, patron of the group and retreat facilitator, the event aimed to help Christians recognize God's mercy and the importance of repentance, and by reflecting on their spiritual journeys, participants were urged to draw closer to God and seek forgiveness during this period of Lent. Emmanuel Shuocha has more details in this report.
Tiankuleni Ambuye, a church group founded in 2005, aims to spread the word of God and help Christians deepen their faith. Recently, the group held a retreat where Father Damaseke emphasized the importance of acknowledging and repentance from sin. Father Damaseke encouraged participants to reflect on their lives and return to God, just like the prodigal son in the biblical parable. He stressed that despite being Christians, individuals sin in various ways, and recognizing this is the first step towards seeking forgiveness.
This retreat foremost is very crucial, as you know that we are in the Lenten season, and one of the principles, one of the key pillars of the Lenten season is fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. So as an extension to prayer, we thought that people should meditate, people should be linked with their God. As you can see in the program, we had moments of reflection, we had moments of adoration, we had moments of a question and answer session, whereas we can amplify the voice of the Lenten season as well as of the Jubilee.
The retreat provided a platform for the attendees to engage in adoration, asking questions about the Catholic faith, and receive the sacrament of penance. Chairperson Tina Gandodo thanked all members who attended the retreat, representing various deaneries in the Archdiocese. Kandodo encouraged participants to put into practice the lesson learned during the retreat. She emphasized the importance of applying the newfound understanding of the Catholic faith in their daily lives.
I would say the main take home, I would say that it's about God's mercy, that God is so merciful. Whenever we feel like we need to go back to God, we should not hesitate. We should just go back to God through sacraments, through sacrament of penance, through retreats like this one. So the main theme of this retreat was I'm going back to my father from the prodigal son, the story from the prodigal son. So if we go through that prodigal son parable, you can see that God is always ready to receive everyone.
The retreat culminated in a mass celebrated by Father Stephen Likucha and Father Damaseke. The event was a spiritual rejuvenation for the attendees, and they left with a renewed commitment to their faith. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
Government is reportedly discussing the settlement period for the country's accumulated debt, which stands at 16.9 trillion Malawi kwacha. This was revealed by Finance Minister Simplex Chichola Banda in response to Mzimba North Member of Parliament Jeremiah Jihana's remarks on the budget statement. Jihana questioned the accuracy of the debt figures, but Chichola Banda refuted his claims. The finance minister also refrained from elaborating on concerns regarding the allocation of 67 billion Malawi kwacha to state residences in the 8 trillion Malawi kwacha 2025-2026 budget. Critics argue that this translates to state houses spending 5 billion kwacha per month, 186 million kwacha per day, and 42 million kwacha per hour, and 702,000 Malawi kwacha per second from taxpayers' money. Robert Edward provides a summary of the proceedings.
Today, the day started with the business that members of Parliament were contributing to the national budget statement that was presented by the Minister of Finance, Simplex Chichola Banda. Two issues came out quite clearly. The issue of the fact that the country is grappling with 16.9 trillion Malawi kwacha of debt. This issue came in the contribution of the legislator from Mzimba North, Honorable Jeremiah Jihana. However, the Minister of Finance avoided to go into details in terms of reaction, describing that as an example of politics. Now, he made mention that as the ministry that he is heading, that they are discussing, actually they're having positive negotiations of the conditions of the repayment of that debt. He even went on to mention that there is a positive response that is coming from those who borrowed us money, and that the outcome might be to the surprise of others. This is part of what Minister of Finance, Simplex Chorabanda, said.
The reasons why we present a budget in the House is for the honourable members to debate candidly, provide solutions and constructive criticism, so that by the end of the day, when we are passing the budget, we are passing a budget which is best for the Malawians, which is the pro-poor. But remember also that sometimes these things are sensationalized because of political interest. So as you are quite aware, we are here for serious business.
Now, during the deliberations, it was also highlighted that actually, this was during the media interviews, the ministers highlighted that beginning next month, the government will start buying tobacco, the country's green gold. Before that, the House degenerated into finger pointing, as most of the times is usual, because as it was started by the Member of Parliament for Luntha City Southeast, Honorable Samia Suleiman, who gave what he called a breakdown of how much the state residences have been allocated in the budget, which is 67 billion kwaja, and he went on to give an arranged breakdown that how much does the money, the taxpayers' money, go to the state residences, even in a second, which was 702,000, even in a day and every month. But that was avoided by the Minister of Finance. Now, moving on, the House resumes deliberations tomorrow with, according to the leader of the House, Richard Banda, the questions to ministers for all replies. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Still on Parliament news, Minister of Higher Education Jessie Kabira has maintained that she has evidence against opposition Democratic Progressive Party DPP regime on the killings of persons of albinism during his reign. Kabira, who is also Malay Congress Party MCP National Publicity Secretary, has told Luntha Television that the evidence will not only consist of good document but people will also testify in the House. The claims started after Member of Parliament for Luntha City Southeast Samia Suleiman said that the government is failing to run the economy. Kabira spoke to Gift Karonga and Rosemary Shikaonda.
The issue that I stood on today was the fact that DPP must be known that they are a bunch of thieves, they are killers, and they can't stand in this house and tell us that this budget is not going to work because they can do it better. What I was saying is they don't have the moral authority to speak. We know who killed people on July 20th. You don't even you don't need a rocket scientist. If it's about stealing, they actually held a press conference to return money that they had stolen. So what I found nauseating is that they don't understand that I am saying they don't have the moral authority to tell us all how to run government, because their track record is of thieves, is of killers. Go and ask those with albinism. It's now that they actually feel so safe that they can even be members of parliament. They're having houses built like what Dr. Razak is doing. So for them to stand there and say, no, this government is misappropriating funds. Look, Dr. Chakwera on the SONA made it very clear. When I was assuming government and when they knew that they're going into, Chakwera is getting into government, money was transferred to an offshore account. They've never disputed it.
Kabira is expected to bring the evidence of her claims during tomorrow or Tuesday's parliamentary deliberations. Moving on, the World Health Organization, WHO, has revealed that 3,400 people die from tuberculosis, TB, daily, and nearly 30,000 individuals contract the preventable and treatable disease every day worldwide. This information was shared by WHO Country Representative Dr. Nima Kimambo during the observance of this year's World TB and Leprosy Elimination Day at Mgona Ground in Area 25 Lilongwe. The event was officiated by Malawi's TB champion, First Lady Madam Monica Chabera. Dr. Kimambo attributed this alarming situation to insufficient awareness efforts within communities. Herbert Kadanda was there and he reports.
Kimambo said there was need for capital collaboration to eliminate the disease and ensure that Malawi meets the earned TB strategy. The strategy suggests that Malawi should record 0 cases of TB and leprosy by 2030. Dr. Kimambo said as partners accelerate their efforts, they should increase public awareness on TB signs and symptoms and ending stigma and discrimination in communities.
Malawi is doing very well in terms of the treatment success rate, but we still need to make sure that we get more people who have TB get to know their status, because if they don't, then maybe they may come very late and then lose their lives.
Speaking during the event, Madam Jaguera urged citizens to coordinate their efforts in the fight against TB and leprosy. She said that the coordination needs to start from the primary level, where people should be made aware of the importance of TB screening. In an interview, Minister of Health Kumbidze Kandodo Chiponda said the country is doing better in terms of meeting TB yearly targets.
As a country, we have come so far, and these days we're doing so much better in terms of managing tuberculosis as well as leprosy. So today is a day which we're commemorating to remind each other that we still have TB, we still have leprosy amongst us, but we need to work together so that we can eliminate these two as public health authorities by the year 2030.
During the event, Madam Chakwera awarded the districts that have done a tremendous work in ensuring that TB was contained, in which Zomba emerged as the best. Nkatabe has come second, while Namulumbe TB Screening Center emerged as the best TB screening center in the country.
A two-day ultimatum has been given to government to lift the ban on exporting precious stones outside the country. This demand was made by Small Scale Miners Association with its chairperson, Flor Annie Kamanga, speaking at a press conference held in Lilongwe on Sunday. Kamanga said it is disappointing that the government imposed the ban without consulting them. They stated that over 40,000 people have lost their jobs due to the ban, which has also disrupted the livelihoods of many people. Kamanga further expressed concern that the ban might encourage illegal markets for precious stones, leading to government revenue losses. Here is part of what Kamanga had to say.
Our concerns are the issue of the ban that was put by the Ministry of Mining from the 12th of February up till now. We actually don't even understand what the reasons are. That's why we are here trying to seek ways and means to understand why they did that. Because we have tried to write them letters for appointment to sit with them so that they explain to us where we went wrong or what they're actually coming up with, but in vain. So since the 12th, we've been running into their offices trying to meet with them from the ministerial side, the administrative side. We're getting no responses. So we decided just to come for a press conference. Maybe they can hear us faster. The ban was said to be for 21 days, but unfortunately the 21 days elapsed probably 13 days ago. So we are like in 21 plus 13 days, which is like 40-something days running, 30-something days running, still in the ban, and we can't export anything.
You're still watching news coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center, and today with me, Tandi Wenzamara. Before we proceed, let's have another look at the headlines. Pope Francis returns to Vatican after first public appearance in weeks. Government in talks over 16.9 trillion Malawi kwacha debt settlement. Government calls for collaborative efforts towards eliminating tuberculosis and leprosy by 2030. And in other news, Angola to end East Congo conflict mediation role. Proceeding with the news, a recent study conducted by the Malawi Network of Honor Persons Organizations, MANEPO, in collaboration with Help Age International, has revealed significant gender inequities in the social cash transfer program. The study, which targeted beneficiaries and program implementers across 3 districts in Malawi, aimed at assessing the impact of age and gender on the social cash transfer program. Rashida Matandika has more details in this report.
According to the study's findings, older women face challenges in accessing information about the SCTP, which is often viewed as secretive with unclear selection criteria. Many older women feel that the program does not adequately address their specific needs, leading to feelings of marginalization. In an interview, MANEPO Executive Director Andrew Kavala emphasized the need for a dedicated social protection program for older persons, particularly advocating for an old age grant as suggested by the recently enacted Older Persons Act.
We are looking at issues around age and gender. How responsive is the cash transfer program when it comes to older persons, specifically older women? There are so many issues that the women face in this program, right from the targeting, right from implementation, addressing their grievances in the program and all that.
In response to the study's findings, Anastasio Matewere, Chief Social Welfare Officer at the Ministry of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare in Malawi, acknowledged the need for policy enhancement and pledged to consider the issues raised.
Well, from the government side, we welcome the results of this study. Actually, they are a reflection of what is happening on the ground, and to us, this is some information that we use to help shape the program.
The study's recommendations include establishing a dedicated social protection program for older persons, increasing program awareness among older women, improving digital literacy, ensuring better coverage by mobile money operators, and leveraging community radios for outreach. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Lilongwe.
The Physicians Assistance Union of Malawi, PAUM, has expressed concern over the increasing cases of mental health disorders among secondary school students nationwide. In response to this, the union has initiated an awareness campaign to help curb the rise in these conditions. PAUM President Solomon Chomba has highlighted that mental health challenges have led to the untimely deaths of many young individuals. Malawi has witnessed a worrying surge in suicide cases, with 281 incidents reported between January and June 2024, primarily affecting individuals aged 20 to 40. Emmanuel Washuocha has more details.
The awareness campaign led by Malawi Healthcare Support, MAHECAS, seeks to educate young people on mental health issues and promote early intervention strategies. PAUM President Solomon Jomba stressed that rising cases of youth suicide pose a serious threat to the nation's future, as young people are the backbone of the country's development. He further urged schools, parents, and community leaders to take an active role in providing support system that can help adolescents navigate mental health challenges.
All right, this is a mental health project that is targeting secondary schools in Malawi. And what we have done as PAUM, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health as well as Ministry of Education, we thought it wise that at least we should help these secondary schools who are which are custodians of the adolescents, young girls, and young adolescent, young boys. So these, according to the studies that we have at the moment, it indicates that the studies report that a good number of adolescents are facing numerous challenges, mental health challenges.
The initiative has already visited several schools, including Kolago Day Secondary School in Golomodi and in Cheu Secondary School. The head teacher for Rizuru Community Day Secondary School, Ethel Magwirajia expressed gratitude to Paumu for educating students about mental health.
These lessons are very good to our students because we have at least identified certain problems which we encounter with these students during our lessons, and what you have explained to us, it has also highlighted us so that we can also find a solution how we can manage or how we can handle these students which are showing some mental illnesses in their life.
A Form 3 students at the school, Samson Banda, commended the school authorities and Paumu for organizing the event, saying it would play a crucial role in their everyday life. The students' positive response underscores the importance of educating young people about mental health.
It helps us to change our critical thinking and our mindset will change.
The initiative's success will depend on the active participation of schools, communities, and stakeholders. By working together, Malawi can mitigate the impact of mental health issues on young people and promote a healthier, more productive future.
A group of stakeholders has urged government to deploy more female teachers to rural areas with the aim of empowering the girl child. The request was made during a meeting held in Mchinji, where stakeholders working under the Gender Justice Project gathered to discuss ways to promote girl-child empowerment. We have more details on this report, followed by Phyllis Chizombe.
According to the stakeholders, female teachers serve as role models for young girls, and having them in larger numbers than male teachers can have a positive impact on their education journey. The stakeholders believe that with more female teachers, girls will be motivated to work hard and stay in school. The meeting, which was attended by faith leaders, chiefs, girl child empowerment officers, and mother group, among others, aimed to identify strategies to address the challenges faced by girls in rural areas. One of the key issues discussed was the high dropout rate of girls from school due to peer pressure and lack of motivation. It was disclosed during the meeting that many schools in rural areas have more male teachers than female teachers, and some schools do not have any female teachers at all. This lack of female role models was cited as a major contributing factor to the high dropout rate of girls. The stakeholders emphasized that having more female teachers in rural areas can help to address this issue. Linda Kabanda, Kapiri Community Development Executive Director, believes female teachers can serve as mentors and role models, providing guidance and support to young girls and encouraging them to stay in school. She said government should also work on introducing and building fun infrastructures around schools in rural areas, such as playgrounds, among others, just as private schools have. Gender Justice Project aims to address the systematic barriers that prevent girls from accessing education and achieving their full potential. For Luntha News, this is Phyllis Chizombe.
Now, in other news, Angola has announced its decision to end its mediation efforts in the ongoing conflict involving the M23 rebels, the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Rwanda, citing a series of failed negotiations and external interference. The announcement was made by the Presidency of the Republic of Angola today, Monday, the 24th of March, 2025. After nearly 2 months of serving as the African Union's chair, Angola recognized the need to shift its focus to broader continental priorities, including peace, infrastructure, economic development, and justice for Africans. We have more details on this Reuters report read by Charity Chilanga.
As the current rotating African Union AU chairperson, Angola's President Joao Lourenço had been trying to mediate a lasting ceasefire and lower tensions between Congo and neighboring Rwanda, which has been accused of backing M23. Rwanda denies this. Congo and M23 were scheduled to hold dialect talks for the first time in Angola's capital, Rwanda, last week after Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi, who had long refused the dialogue with the labels, agreed to send a delegation. M23 pulled out at the last minute following European Union sanctions against M23 and Rwandan officials. There have been several attempts to resolve the conflict, rooted in the fallout from Rwanda's 1994 genocide and competition for mineral riches, including several ceasefires that were violated, international condemnations, sanctions, and regional summits. The regional blocs of Southern and Eastern Africa were scheduled to hold a second joint summit on Monday to address the crisis, with Kenya's President William Ruto and his Zimbabwean counterpart Emmerson Mnangagwa co-chairing the virtual event. M23 said over the weekend that it would withdraw forces from the seized town of Walikale in support of peace efforts. In response, Congo's army said it would observe the announced withdrawal and refrain from any offensives against enemy forces to encourage de-escalation.
And that Reuters report read by Charity Shilanga also brings us to the end of what we had for you in this edition of our news bulletin. But before we go, here is a reminder of our headlines. Pope Francis returns to Vatican after first public appearance in weeks. Government in talks over 16.9 trillion Malawi Kwacha debt settlement. Government calls for collaborative efforts towards eliminating tuberculosis and leprosy by 2030. And in other news, Angola to end East Congo conflict mediation war. My name is Tandi Wemzmara. Thank you for keeping me company, and do continue following the rest of our programs right here on Luntha TV. Do remember that we are also on social media. On Facebook, we are at Luntha Television, and on YouTube, we are at Luntha TV Official. Goodbye for now, and do stay safe.